So today we are going to check out a lower wattage mouth to lung style kit. This one coming from INNOKIN, and get ready for this. It's called the INNOKIN KromaA Zenith Platform Series Edition Kit. Whew, that's a lot to swallow. Pretty much what we have here is the KromaA, which is just like the previous Kroma with a slight refresh. But what's really exciting is the new mouth to lung Zenith tank that was designed by Phil Basardo and the Vaping Greek. Now, you can purchase it as a kit, which includes the mod and the tank, or you can get just the tank itself. They're currently still on pre-order, so keep that in mind. I got the, what resistance in here? I got the 0.8 ohm coil, 15 watts. I got a really high nick in here. I got 18 milligram tobeco. Keep in mind, it is a mouth to lung style tank, low wattage, high resistance. You're going to run a higher nick level. And yeah, let's have a vape. Got the airflow nice and closed off. Nice tight mouth to lung vape. Here we go. You know, I don't want to say tight. Some people may think like pod system tight. This is more like a slipstream, you know, like where you get a tight restricted vape and you pull in air from the side. So it's a more airier mouth to lung style vape, but still really, really nice, smooth airflow off this one. Now, the KromaA kit was sent over directly by INNOKIN for the purpose of this review. If you guys are looking to pick it up, I will have links to the kit and also to the tank in the description. Once again, all the websites appear to be still on pre-order. Going price, I've seen on a few websites as low as $46 for the kit, all the way up to $74. And for the tank itself, I priced it at around $28.99. So let's have a closer look at the KromaA Zenith kit, this one coming from INNOKIN. Now, there has been a few other Kroma devices released in the past. I have not tried them, I have not reviewed them, so I couldn't tell you the differences between the devices, but this particular one, I think they're calling it the KromaA Platform Series. So we'll just call it the KromaA for short. Inside the box, you're going to get the KromaA device. They're going to toss in the new Zenith tank coming from Basardo and the Vaping Greek, along with 2 coil heads, 2 drip tips. You're going to get a tank band, some extra O-rings, micro USB charging cable, a user manual, and a love letter from Basardo and the Vaping Greek himself. Now, the previous versions of the Kroma were actually available in like blue, red, green. I think they had 5 different colors, but the new platform series is only available in an all black, and we have a white and black version. For the video, we're going to focus on the white and black because it looks a little bit better on camera. Now, this device is constructed of a zinc alloy, nice lightweight device, measures 69 millimeters tall, 46 millimeters wide, and 24 millimeters thick. If we compare it really quickly up against the INNOKIN Pocket Box that I reviewed, you'll see that the Kroma is actually a really small device. Along the top, we're going to have your stainless steel 510 connection with your gold-plated spring-loaded 510 pin in the center. Now, even though you're probably never going to use an RDA on this device because it's so small, we're just going to use an RDA for size reference, and you'll see that 24 millimeters looks perfect on top, does sit nice and flush, and we get no overhang with 24, and the included Zenith tank actually measures 23 millimeters. Along the side, we're going to have your firing switch, your wattage up and down buttons, and your micro USB port. The button on here, nice and clicky, very responsive. I had 0 issues with any of the buttons, and you can see they stick out quite a bit, and there's a little like ridge right here, and it just makes it really easy to locate the button with your finger. And there's also an LED light that goes around the button, so when you fire it, when you have a tank installed, the LED does light up. 1, 2, 3. There you go. You can see the light right there. Wattage up and down buttons, same deal. Nice and clicky, very responsive. We have the positive, negative, up and down indicators, which is really nice. Micro USB charging port. This little mod actually offers 2 amp charging over USB. Now, we do have a internal, non-removable 2000 milliamp hour battery, which is kind of nice because we have the 2 amp charger, so it does charge up fairly quick. We don't have a battery door, of course, at the bottom because, once again, it does use an internal battery. We do have this nice little black grip. I believe this is made of plastic right here. And it actually just feels good in the hands with the grip. Get a nice grip on it, and you can actually hide it in your palm. and use it as a stealth device. The screen on here is located along the side, as you can see there. I wish the screen was a little brighter, just a personal preference. 1, 2, 3. We'll dive closer so you guys can check out the menu and the functions, but for the most part, got all your basic information on the screen. Got the Platform Series logo at the top, and all around, the white and black one actually is not bad looking. The black one, for me, it's a little too black, a little too murdered out, but all in all, not a bad looking device. Now, when you first screw down your atomizer, it's going to ask you same coil or new coil. If you select same, it's going to keep the same resistance, or if you select new, go ahead and select the mode. You got temperature mode and you got wattage mode. If we go over to wattage mode, we can adjust the wattage all the way up to 75 watts. This one does have a 27.5 maximum output current, and it does do 7.5 volts. On the main screen, resistance, voltage, wattage, battery indicator, and your puff timer. Now, to get into the other modes like temp mode, it's going to be the wattage up and the firing switch. Hold them down together, and you'll see it scroll, nickel, titanium, stainless steel, then back to wattage mode. And then let's hop into nickel. We can adjust the temperature between 300 and 600 degrees Fahrenheit. It will fire down to a 0.1. We do have the ability to adjust the wattage. Holding down the wattage down in the firing switch, you'll see the wattage start blinking. We can adjust it between 25 watts and 75 watts in temperature mode. And then to adjust the temperature, just hold down the wattage up. And now we can go ahead and adjust the temperature. And then to rotate the screen, all you got to do, hold the wattage up and down button together. And now you can flip the screen. We're going to flip it back. We don't have a locking feature on here, but we do have an on-off feature that is kind of quick. It's going to be 3 clicks of the firing switch, 1, 2, 3. Now it's turned off. You can't vape. You cannot adjust the wattage. And to turn it back on, 1, 2, 3 again. And there you go. This is going to be the new Zenith tank that was designed by Basardo and the Vaping Greek. This is a mouth-to-lung tank, meaning lower wattage, higher resistance, much more restricted airflow. It's not going to be a crazy cloud capacity sub-ohm tank, so keep that in mind. 23 millimeters in diameter. At the top, they do include 2 510 drip tips. They are made of Delrin. Here's your standard Delrin tip. And this one right here is actually really comfortable. I like this drip tip right here. And of course, you can use all your own standard 510 drip tips. Top fill on here, kind of self-explanatory. You can see open and close. And all you got to do is just turn the top cap. There's your fill port. Fill it up, and then just turn it to close it. This one will hold 4 mLs of liquid. And because it's a higher resistance and a lower wattage, you're not going to burn through that 4 mLs like you would on a sub-ohm tank. We do have adjustable airflow control. We have 4 air holes, 2 millimeter, 1.5, 1, and 0.5. You can run it wide open, or you can close off. For instance, you can just run the 2. You can run the 2 and the 1.5. I wish it kind of was the other way around, where you can just open up the 0.5 to give it a much more restricted vape, but not really a big concern there. At the bottom, we got your silver-plated 510 pin. You'll see Platform Series designed by Basardo and the Vaping Greek. Now this sub-ohm tank, or why do I keep calling it a sub-ohm tank? Mouth-to-lung tank kind of works like all the other INNOKIN tanks, where the coil doesn't screw into the base like your traditional tank. It actually slides in to the tank and seals with an O-ring. But just remember that when you do this, let me slide that out. You'll see there's 2 flat sides on the coil head, and you have to line up those flat sides with the cutouts in the tank so that way the coil seals into place. You can see the O-ring inside there that helps prevent it from leaking. And I recommend not priming these coil heads. Usually I tell people to prime the coil head with juice, but on these coil heads, because they're so small, I noticed you might get some leakage if you prime them. So just install your dry coil, fill your tank, and wait about 5 to 10 minutes before you start vaping on a new coil head. Now, the only downside to this tank is the fact that you can't really take it apart for cleaning. So you can't remove the glass, you can't unscrew the top cap. The only option you have here is to pop the coil out, open up the juice flow, and just run water through it. And this is all kind of a press fit piece right here. So yeah, only downside to that. They do include 2 coil heads. You'll get a 1.6 ohm mouth-to-lung Kanthal coil that's rated 10 to 14 watts, and then a 0.8 ohm Kanthal coil mouth-to-lung that's rated 15 to 18 watts. So let's talk a little bit about the KromaA and the Zenith. Now, as for the mouth-to-lung tank, this is designed exactly how Phil and Dimitri like it. The airflow is like right, it kind of reminds me of a K-Fun. Now, it's a mouth-to-lung vape. Don't think of a pod system. It's not that tight. It's not wide open enough to do a direct lung. I mean, you could probably do direct lung, but I don't think the coils are going to keep up. It's more of a K-Fun style vape, and I think the airflow is a perfect mouth-to-lung with a little bit of slipstreaming, where you pull in the air through the side of your lip. So airflow on here is perfect. The flavor's nice. Get a nice throat hit. The drip tips they include, perfect. I love this curved drip tip, very comfortable on the lips. The top fill is nice and easy. It holds 4 ml of liquid, and when you're vaping it only at 15 watts, that 4 ml might get you through half the day. So it actually does kind of hold a lot of liquid. The airflow options on here, you know, you can open it up, you can tighten it off. You can't get it too tight. I wish they kind of brought the airflow control ring in from the other side so you can get a more restricted vape. But, you know, not really a big complaint whatsoever. All in all, they did a really good job. The only thing I don't like about the tank, and this is more of an INNOKIN thing, you can't take the tank apart. A lot of INNOKIN tanks, they don't allow you to unscrew the glass tank and all that stuff. And from time to time, especially running tobacco liquids, I like to take my glass apart and all that and clean it. But with this one, you got to fill it up with juice or water and kind of shake it up. And I noticed when I first got it, when I was using the coils, I would prime the coil head like I always do. And I got some major flooding, major leaking. I tried 2 coil heads and they kept flooding on me and it kept leaking. And then the third coil, I said, you know what? I'm not going to prime the coil head. And that coil has been perfect. So with that said, when you get this, do not prime the coil head. Put the coil in dry, fill the tank, let it sit 5 to 10 minutes, and it should be absolutely perfect. So all in all, nice mouth-to-lung tank. Congrats to Phil and Dimitri for that. Now the device, it's the KromaA. I have not used one before, but I've looked at photos, I've looked at specs, and I think it's the same KromaA they had, I think, last year. So I don't think much has changed. They're calling it the Platform Series, which I really don't know what that means, but nice device, really nice. 75 watts, I probably wouldn't use it at 75 watts because of the battery. 2,000 milliamp hour, using it at 75 watts is not going to get you through probably a quarter of the day. So that's why I'm considering it a low wattage device. But using it at 15 to 20 watts, this thing can actually last me the entire day, which is pretty impressive. The buttons, clicky, responsive, nice and comfortable. I did mention it had button rattle and battery rattle, but it's only when you do this. Using it normally, I experience no rattle whatsoever, so I'm not really complaining about that. 2 amp charge over USB, so it does charge that internal battery very, very quickly. The screen is a little small, but it is a small device, so even though the screen is a little small for me, I kind of know where they're coming from. They want to keep things nice and compact. Love the way the white and black one looks with the black grip on the side right here. All in all, it's a nice kit. You know, I'm not going to say it's not just for the new vapor. It's for everybody. A mouth-to-lung vapor, a new vapor, even an experienced vapor who does direct lung vaping. If you're looking for something small and stealthy, loaded up with some high-nic juice, and you can enjoy this thing when you're out and about, and you don't want to cause, you know, too much attention when you're blowing big clouds. Perfect setup right here. I've been enjoying it. I'll continue to use it. That's it. That's all I got for you guys today on the KromaA and the Zenith. If you have any comments or questions, you know exactly what to do. Hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to everyone very, very soon. Make sure you guys build safe and vape on.